Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Monday, November the 19th, 2012, and as expected, we had a bounce today. That's very cool and makes you thankful that you were stopped out of your short positions on Friday, or you went long on Friday, or even today. What we're doing now is trying to figure out where exactly that peak's going to be. The main thing is don't fall in love with the up move here because it's still an overall downtrend. The trend is defined by a lower series of highs and lower series of lows, such as this point here, high point, lower high, low point, lower low. So the trend is down. We want to work in favor of that trend, not against it. But throughout that little downtrend, you're going to have little bounces, and sometimes you'll have substantial bounce opportunities that you could take advantage of and trade it in the opposite direction of the overall trend. And that's what we're doing here. What you can see right now is you have a nice candlestick formation today on all the charts indicating that this is not the peak. So we would actually expect this to press higher before finding a peak situation. So we'll keep an eye on this middle Bollinger Band line about in line with the 200 period moving average. We'll see what we come up with, what kind of a formation we get there. Another thing you got to think about in these U.S. markets, you're going to have low volume trading because you have the holidays. You got Thursday, the markets are closed for Thanksgiving. The day after Thursday, of course Friday, would be the markets are closing early. So I'm not going to be expecting a lot out of this market. A little move to the upside, advance the stop. And at that point, you may want to take your profit before the holiday and just walk away from the market at that point because you got a long holiday basically coming up, a long weekend. And a lot of things can happen over the weekend. So what I would do is right now, I'm kept my stop right down here off the low of Friday, another day to the upside, and I would take the stop loss limit and advance it to the low point there, and then you can either continue advancing your stop or just exit the market and wait for a sell signal because you are in a downtrend and the overall trend is down. So therefore you want to be looking for the best opportunities to be on the downside. What do I mean by that? It means that whenever you're got in a downtrend like this, you can trade these little bounces, but you don't expect a lot of gains. You expect that there's going to be smaller gains on the upside and bigger gains on the downside move. So you feel more confident when you're trading on the downside in a downtrend, right? Okay, so that's what I'm looking at with the markets. Quick glance here at the NASDAQ. You can see we've made a nice move to the upside here. That's great. The main thing here, and note this open here and this previous close here puts a gap right there at the start of this little move to the upside. You've also got one above you. Do I know which one's going to fill first? No, I don't. I would expect this one up here to fill first just because that's the overall direction we're moving. But I would again point out that when you have a gap like this, you should expect it to get filled. So eventually, even if we just continue to move up here, it's just telling you that you're going to eventually turn around and come back and fill this point here, which would tell you to continue to trade with the overall trend, which is down. Ergo, don't get married to this trade. Another day to the upside, fine, advance the stop loss limits, and we'll move on from there. The SPX 500, or the S&P 500 I should say, you'll notice on this one we've already traded above and closing above the 200 period moving average. The candlestick formation indicating that we're still going to be pressing higher, testing the middle Bollinger Band line. And again, the stop is left where it was on Friday. I will advance it tomorrow, basically, assuming that we actually make a higher high. So for example, one case where I wouldn't advance the stop is if we were to gap down the following day and trade in here an inside day, I wouldn't advance the stop. But as soon as we get above this close here and we close up higher than that, then I'll advance the stop. Another way to try to call your top, because there's different points on the chart that you could actually peek out. You could be previous support that broke down, could be then acting as resistance. We've got the middle Bollinger Band line. You may also find it if you could rally all the way up here to the 50 period moving average. It'd be a great shorting opportunity. I don't think you can reach that, but it's possible. Anything's possible, so we'll keep an eye on it. Another way to keep to try to time your entry and exit point would be watch the ultimate oscillator. It's at 52 now. When it hits up there at 70, then you can say, okay, I'm expecting to find a peak in this range. So that's would be a great time to be taking your profits and then looking for your short opportunity. Okay, and now you know what I know moving into the week ahead. Again, I want to point out you're going to have a kind of lower volume as you move closer to the holiday, and you do have a long weekend coming up. So you may want to take your profits off the table before that actually hits you. So all up to you. And one last thing to point out. Nah, I'll show it to you tomorrow. Alright, looking at PerfectStockAlert.com. If you've not been to the free website, it's right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. God bless, take care, enjoy your holidays, enjoy your family, and be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.